This edition of the EDGA podcast celebrates the creation of a G4D major, the G4D Open. But read on and you'll find that every EDGA player out there has actually helped to make this happen. Every EDGA player has helped to spread the word on inclusive golf. All of this building momentum for a very special event at Woburn in May. The first ever G4D Open at Woburn in early May has been deemed a great success, competed for by 80 men and women with a disability from 17 countries. All types of impairment were represented: physical, sensory, intellectual and neurodevelopmental, playing in 9 sport classes in this tournament, held in partnership between the R&A and the DP World Tour, supported by EDGA. Of course, with 8 of the top 10 players from the world ranking for golfers with disability taking part, the leaderboard was awash with the names of the leading golfers, with Ireland's Brendan Lawler and England's Kip Poppert battling it out before the Irishman held his nerve to win by 2 shots, while Kim Moore from the USA played sustained strong golf to win the female category by 4 shots over Ireland's Fiona Gray. But let us also think a little more widely. There are nearly 3,000 competitive pass holders associated with EDGA. These golfers first have created the seismic shift in G4D, also known as Golf for the Disabled, in the last few years. They have all helped to build a genuine movement across 39 Gulf nations, without whom this historic event at Woburn would not have taken place. The G4D Open correlates with the famed Open Championship itself, run by the R&A, who are at the wheelhouse of growing the game. Last week should be celebrated as a significant step forward for inclusive golf. But everyone on EDGA's playing pathway, the samplers, participants and competitors, have all played a key part in this journey. The EDGA president, Tony Bennett, sums it up.
The closing ceremony at Woburn was wonderful for all present, including the deserving champions Brendan and Kim and 9 sports class winners. It was fabulous to see the R&A's head of tournament, Susan Simpson, present the prizes with all watching, smiling and clapping, and all the fantastic volunteers getting recognition for their excellent work. But it's worth remembering that this historic tournament wouldn't have started but for many of our EDGA golfers who have travelled to so many of our events, all to tee it up in the Gross, Net and Stableford tournaments. There are so many of our friends all around the world who have played in an EDGA event, competed hard before enjoying a unique social experience, and then later spreading the word about how G4D can help others to thrive. This EDGA family is continuing to break down barriers and welcome many more people into our game. If you're one of these people and you've seen, read or heard the coverage of the G4D Open and the G4D Tour recently, we hope you realise how grateful all of us at EDGA are for your input into the evolution of G4D.
The G4D Open was certainly one of the most inclusive high-profile golf events ever staged, competed for over 54 holes on Woburn's Duchess course. This was the first time sport classes were used to include athletes from multiple impairment groups. 9 sport classes in all, covering standing, intellectual, visual and sitting players. Brendan Lawler's 3 over par winning gross total of 219 came after a final round of 3 over 75, narrowly closing out Kip Poppert, who finished 2 strokes further back after his last day 76.
It's been unbelievable, and to be honest, it hasn't really sunk in yet. I've been putting so much hard work into my game the last few months, and it's been trending really well, and I just couldn't get it over the line last year, so it's been a while since I've been in the winner's circle, and I'm so proud of myself just to get it done. Really happy. It's been incredible, and volunteers, EDGA, R&A, DP World, everyone involved has put in Trojan work to get this event done, and I can't imagine how much money it costs as well. So for every player here, we felt like royalty this week, and hopefully this is the start of many. We're going to have many more of these major events, and disability golf is definitely on the way up.
America's Kim Moore, who triumphed in the US Adaptive Open at Pinehurst last year, was the leading female at Woburn, finishing 4 shots ahead of Ireland's Fiona Gray in another absorbing contest.
It's an honor. It's definitely my goal coming in. And although I didn't play the greatest this whole week, I played good enough. And sometimes in golf, that's what it takes. The more awareness we have with these tournaments, the more participation we're going to get. So I have no doubt that it's going to bring more players, more participants, more people into the game, and hopefully, more females.
A gross prize was awarded in each sport class, with the winners as follows. Intellectual 1, Felix Norman of Sweden. Intellectual 2, Kasper Holst Christensen, Denmark. Standing 1, Kip Poppert, England. And Standing 2, Juan Pastigo of Spain. Standing 3 was won by the overall champion Brendan Lawler of Ireland. Sitting 1, Terry Kirby of England. Sitting 2, Graham Freeman of Belgium. Visual 1, Stefano Palmieri of Italy was the winner. And Visual 2, Joseph McCarron of the USA. All the scores can be found on the RNA website, which is randa.org, under Championships. This G4D Open Week also offered a unique opportunity to stage a third symposium on golf for the disabled. Kevin Barker, Director of Golf Development for the RNA, welcomed delegates to Woburn from as far afield as Canada, South Africa and Australia, saying he was delighted that together they could share knowledge, learn, collaborate and find solutions in the rapidly developing area of G4D, helping more people to thrive through the power of golf. Encouraging and inspiring new golfers with disability, treating them with equity at all stages of their journey through the game and improving current practices were key themes. EDGA was able to bring 23 years of expertise to proceedings, with presentations on the player pathway, the development of white-label EDGA resources that can be used by golfing bodies to grow the game, and advancements on medical classification and the support of players. Delegates were delighted to welcome EDGA players Erika Malmberg of Sweden and Mike Jones of Wales, and to hear their fascinating stories on how golf has helped them to continue their personal development and create confidence. Progress of the G4D Tour by the DP World Tour, the USGA's journey with the US Adaptive Open, and first-hand experience from RSM on the benefits for companies in supporting G4D, all added to the shared expertise in the room. While we were at Woburn, we saw some examples of how the EDGA team can offer people with a disability who have never tried golf before, never thought of playing. They can give them the first go, the first touch of the game, and the positive results that actually achieves is really interesting. On a square area of grass near the Woburn clubhouse on Wednesday, EDGA's Head of Instruction and Education Mark Taylor and PGA professional coach Leah Rolich were able to engage with two groups of mental health patients from the East London NHS Foundation Trust. They offered EDGA's D3 First Touch format using safe, light, colourful, adapted golfway chippers and putters with soft balls that can be used in non-golf venues such as hospitals and schools. In a successful session witnessed by Tom Pursglove, the UK Government Minister for Disabled People, Health and Work, the Trust's Health Development Coordinator Steve Mugridge was clearly delighted with how it encouraged his patients who had never tried golf before. Steve told us, "From the opening minute this was accessible, fun, interactive and highly inclusive. The equipment we used was perfect for our patient type. It's great to see the patients happy and absorbed in a task and smiling as they see the results. Some of our mental health patients experience low moods and loneliness, and this group activity can have a huge benefit on their well-being." Jamie Blair of England Golf had helped connect the East London NHS Foundation Trust with EDGA and was present himself to watch the session. Steve Mugridge added, "While Leah inspired our patients, Mark trained our therapists and volunteers during the session, who can now deliver golf in our inpatient wards and outside in the summer. Our therapy team can now link up with our Trust's other community venues to encourage their patients, and a little down the line we can link with a local golf club through this EDGA scheme. I came along today hoping for inclusive activity for the day for our patients, and I've actually been given a complete pathway into a new sport. It was also fantastic that at the end of the session, the RNA gifted a complete set of golfway equipment for use by our team and patients. It was a lovely gesture." In further development news, Woburn was also the perfect venue to proceed with EDGA's year-long research project looking into the golf swings of golfers with disability. The academic researchers anticipate that the results will further increase the body of knowledge and so better support golfers with a wide range of impairments, leading to improved competitive opportunities, a reduction in injury, while welcoming new players to the game. The plan is to analyse at least 200 golfers over the next year, including players with visual impairments. Players, tournament organisers, national governing bodies, PGA coaches, professionals working in sports medicine and equipment manufacturers can all benefit from the research. And finally, a quick word on the players and volunteers. The ultimate test for the week was the satisfaction level of the players taking part. The Duchess course presented a tough challenge in the sometimes really difficult weather conditions, including thunder and torrential rain on day one, but the smiles from players were ever present. Alessandra Donati of Italy commented, "I felt honoured and celebrated to participate in this first big event. It felt like a dream for me, for all these years in which I have been committed to improving my golf and promoting this movement." David Watts of South Africa commented, "This tournament was extremely special for its inclusiveness. Despite the cold and the rain, golfers were smiling, laughing and enjoying being part of a prestigious event." A trio from England summed it up further. Amy Bullock called it wonderful, an amazing experience, while Johnny Ray said, "Thank you for giving us the opportunity we have all dreamt of." Oliver Hurst Greenham added, "Massive thanks. You guys are changing lives." And after a long and successful week for everyone involved, EDGA President Tony Bennett was able to sum it all up.
A huge thanks again to all of our 80 players involved. You did a great job. Thanks again for every player connected with EDGA who has helped turn the dial for golfers first in recent years. Particular thanks also to the teams at the R&A, the DP World Tour, Woburn and of course EDGA, including so many volunteers who selflessly give up their time to make the inaugural G4D Open so special. It was well worth it.